Hey guys, welcome to the Tech with me, Kieran, and today we're going to be doing the build guide for you with Lexies' new build, and it's going to be a good one. It features the Intel i7-4790K processor, so you know it's going to be good. Let's get started, shall we? Do you want to start with the case? What's it called?
It's an aero-cool case. It's a full tower, full ATX tower, rather than the mid, which was my previous build. It's much better. We'll show some comparison shots between cases, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, this thing's massive.
So, most cases, as usual, it's actually fairly easy to get the side off. You've just got two screws, and this one's more of a sort of half door, half pull off. This one, it's got. So, I could probably fit in this case, but that's not needed. We've got the front panel USB 3 wires, the front panel audio wires, which are shown because... Oh no, these are front panel USB, sorry, it's got USB written on the side.
They're the audio.
And this one's the audio wires for the front panel.
We've got all sorts of cables.
Yeah, there's cables everywhere. And here, which I've grouped together, I did make sure I knew where everything was. You've got the power switch, the reset switch, the LED lights for your hard drives, and the LEDs for the power button.
No, so
what else have we got?
A great amount of hard drive bays.
Oh yeah, and you can use these can also be hard drive bays as well, or disk drives, which I'm only going to have one of, which I'm not actually going to put it in this build, because
no need to yet.
Yeah. So I'm planning to do some cable management, which is what all these rubber. I don't know if you can see them very well, but I'm sure we'll get some B-roll. But yeah, there's little rubber bits inside the case for cable management, so it's not all messy and like our previous builds.
Hey, my
well,
build
yours
now,
is actually now cable managed,
it's like
isn't it?
busting out at the back though. It's like, ugh.
So
cables want to be free.
This side's always the pain to get off. I'm sure there's... There we go. There we go. So, I think we're ready to start.
Indeed we are. So, let's
so first off, we want the motherboard.
Yes, the motherboard, which is a... Do you want to say it?
Well, it's a Z97X gaming motherboard. It's Gigabyte manufacture it. And it's a beautiful piece of engineering. Ta-da!
So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get a desk. Alright, and what you can do is you can actually use the box, if you pass the box here. Take the motherboard off. And you can actually use the top of the box, like so, to place the motherboard on. So, right. So, what we're going to do first is we're going to open it. Do you want to open it? This is your
okay. So, first off, don't want to intrude on my beautiful piece of engineering.
This is your build, so...
Funnily enough, this motherboard actually comes with... I'm trying not to touch as many of the soldered parts as possible, but funnily enough, the motherboard actually comes with PS2 mouse and keyboard, which is old technology. I mean,
old technology on the new motherboard,
and gold-plated audio channels, but it doesn't label which is which. So that's going to be fun when I plug in my speakers when it's all built.
So also the SATA ports are in a nice lovely spot for cable management instead of being on the top of the board.
Which is always awkward, and you always sort of look like they're going to rip to shreds.
And then we've even got a nice lovely LED panel there to show us like the boot codes.
So if there's an error, it shows nice little error number, what's wrong with it. And it's even got an on button on the motherboard. That was an interesting discovery,
yeah, so.
I have to say.
Right. So once you have your motherboard in place, the next step is I would say one of the most fragile steps in the build, and that's the processor.
Yes.
Now, if you're handling any kind of processor or anything, anything inside the computer, you should make sure you're not statically charged or anything like that.
One of the best things to do if you don't have latex gloves or anything like we don't, unfortunately, is touching a radiator. That usually grounds. It acts as a grounding wire.
See, we'll take a better shot, but that's the i7-4790K. So, as all CPUs, they come with their own default cooling fan.
We don't have anything to change it to, so we're going to stick with that.
Yeah. So, but you can buy it. It's better to get a custom one if you want to do that. Yeah.
I mean, one of the most known things about computers is their absolutely magnificent overkill with packaging.
That one was fairly simple.
That one was actually not that bad, but I've got to actually get the processor out of it now.
The AMD one was a bitch.
Oh god. Here we go. So, this little piece of engineering is one of the main parts and most expensive part. In fact, it's the most expensive part of my entire build.
So, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pop this open.
Each one's usually like fairly different but simple.
Take the cover off.
That's just to keep
then
it off.
you'll need to match up the processor with the correct corners. This is a very delicate step as well, because if you try to force this in at all, you will break it.
Yeah. You've got to just discover which corner it all goes into. Unfortunately, this one's a bit of an awkward one.
It is an awkward one. It is an awkward one.
Hang on, right, okay. Where are the, here we go. Here we go.
You got it?
Yeah.
Alright.
There we go. Now luckily this motherboard does apparently have sort of reinforced CPU, what you call them? The contacts.
So, a bit that I should mention about this is that you're gonna, yes, it's gonna feel like, oh, maybe I'm putting too much force on, but don't worry about it. It's fine.
It is all new stuff and you've got to work it in a bit.
If this is your first build, then it's going to be a pain.
Oh, you're going to be panicking. You're going to be like, oh god, my first build I went through 3 power units, but that wasn't my fault. They were all...
Did it come with any paste?
It didn't actually, I don't think. Has it not got any on there?
It looks like it
Yeah,
might
that's
have
paste on there.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, yeah, some may not come with paste, and it might actually already have the paste on the heatsink. If not,
I think many of my last build had paste already on it. This one has paste already on it, and basically that's just to transfer the heat much better. Is it all lined up?
Yeah.
Here we go.
That was going the wrong way.
So it's just push it in and twist it.
Like that.
And that's that done, apart from...
Yeah, let's not plug this in just yet. But there you go, right, so that's the CPU in place. That was the most delicate part, so you can kind of...
breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, relax a little bit now. Right, so the next part, what we're going to do is we're going to fit the RAM. And the RAM it's really easy to do.
Oh, the RAM is the most... we want 1...
And what you want to do...
and 2.
If you want to explain this bit.
Okay, so you'll notice that all motherboards tend to have 4 slots for RAM. And of those 4, 2 of them are a slightly different colour than the other 2. And basically those are the channels, what are called channels with your RAM. If you only have 2 sticks, while you can just put them in different colours, it's best to have them in the same coloured slot.
Yeah. That's easy
that's
as
the
that.
start of it. Hence why it goes 1, 3, 2, 4 on the motherboard. It's written on this one, thank God.
So this Corsair Vengeance Pro Series RAM. I actually have the same RAM. I only have 8 gigs though,
and I have 16 in 2 slots.
Yeah.
I can upgrade to 32 gigabytes if I bought that again, but
yeah.
I think that's a bit overkill RAM wise.
For now. So what you want to do is you want to match the little key.
There's
with the slot
a little
on the
slot
RAM.
on the RAM,
and then there's a key on the actual on the RAM slot, which you match it up with.
And all you need to do is slide it in, press your thumbs on the corners. Unfortunately this one's been a bit of a...
This is new motherboard. All new motherboards at first, when you put new RAM sticks in, you're going to be like, oh, this might be too much pressure. If it doesn't click, but it looks like the clips are lined up, then just give them a push in and then...
Do it manually, because sometimes it's... RAM, you often have problems with your computer. Often when you have problems with your computer, you've got beep codes. Quite often you find it's the RAM that's come what we call unseated. And basically it means it's just come a little loose in the socket, and just pulling it out and putting it back in is one of the ways to fix it.
Okay, so that's the RAM in. That was a nice easy task, nothing stressful about that. If you've missed up at any point or you feel like you've not done something right, you can just rewind the video and
not that there's much,
go through that. There's nothing difficult that's happened yet. It's the cable management and stuff like that that'll be fun. Alright, so the next step is we're just going to test this motherboard now and make sure it all boots up fine, and we get the boot code come up. If we get a successful boot code, it'll probably moan that the graphics card actually...
No, it won't, because it does have integrated graphics.
Oh, well, there you go.
It might moan that there's no monitor plugged in, but...
But, you know, what are you going to do? So, what you want to do is you want to get your power supply.
Now this one's a modular one, which means semi-modular one, which means I can choose what extra wires to put in for graphics cards and of course powering my hard drives. But it does come with the default motherboard cables. Now there's two of them, two power cables that every motherboard has, pretty much, and most power units that you buy will easily be able to fit into them. Now, this one's already got the motherboard wires on.
Oh, is it? Okay. There's a lot of SATA stuff.
Yeah, I've got a lot of SATA cables. It's good because it means that if you're a bit pedantic about cables, you get to well, you get to do what you want with them, to be honest.
There we go.
Now, I've got to find an extension lead.
I'm just plugging in the CPU fan.
Very important step.
Which, you know what, is in the worst spot. We should probably have turned this around. Never mind.
No, the CPU socket's there, isn't it?
It's around this side.
It's that.
Although, I might be able to plug it in here.
Is it not this white slot? CPU fan?
It is, but it doesn't reach. So it's got to come out to go around the other side, but it's all good.
Well, I want it all in the right sockets, just because I'm that pedantic.
The CPU fan does actually need to be in a particular socket, so...
Basically, it's so your motherboard can monitor it, and so it doesn't panic when it doesn't detect that it's running the CPU fan. You'll notice that your motherboard will panic any other way.
Problem is, this doesn't want to go in, doesn't want to play fair. There we go. Didn't want to play fair for a moment there.
Now, would you like to... Now these cables are ridiculously, notoriously difficult to plug in and unplug out of motherboards.
Alright, so, obviously we've got the motherboard power supply that goes in over here. Have we got enough room?
We've got enough leeway.
So you want to match it up so that...
There's a clip on one side, and basically you clip it in whichever side. Now we probably want to put...
Son of a bitch.
There we go. There we go.
Come on, clip.
Like I said, notoriously difficult.
Is
that it? Oh, no.
There we go.
There we go. I felt a little... Now this one, it's the...
So I'm going to hold this up just so it doesn't touch the fan.
This cable's utterly ridiculous.
And that's to power the CPU. It's the clip probably will come up on this side.
Would you hold that for me, because this one, oh god, there we go, right. Now you've of course got to line it up with everything. and make sure it's all fine and dandy. I think that's in. Yeah, that's in.
And
okay.
you hold the power supply again.
So, luckily, we've got a nice on button on the motherboard.
Everything looks good.
How quiet is that? Okay, so we've changed the camera view so that you can probably, hopefully, see this a bit better. Now, cases sometimes have your CPU either up here or
you
down
mean your
here.
power supply?
Your power supply, yeah. What did I say?
You said CPU.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's not right.
I'm going mental, honestly. Now, it does have your fan of your power unit. It's always going to be this way up.
So basically, the best way to also tell is that if it has writing on it, it should be the right way round.
Oh yeah. However, on this one, it's very awkward because on the other side, it's actually upside down.
So, yeah.
But I do know because the fan actually lines up with a nice little vent on the bottom of
yeah,
the face.
if it's great on the bottom, that's where you know where your power supply then lines up and whatnot. So just fitting that in now. Once that's properly seated, which might take a minute.
It's no, I think that was all there is to it. This one, yep. And I want some of my screws, which I was so excited with before. Never lose these. These, even if you don't use them all. Get a
magnetic tray or something like that. They're always very useful to keep screws together.
I think that's motherboard. No, that's motherboard and feet.
That's a piece. That's power screw. Okay.
Oh, it's even labelled. Wow,
that's handy. You don't get that all the time. I'm not even joking.
I know, I did. I didn't get any. I just had to use whatever screws I had. Luckily, they were pretty much all the same type, so it didn't really matter. Okay, so you've got 4 screws usually for your power supply.
Huge fan.
It is. We've got 2 huge fans, but I can replace them with 2 smaller ones. Well, with 4 smaller ones.
Right? No one's going to do that.
Well, no, hell, I can either add a massive fan on this side panel, or
unless all you end up hearing is.
Yeah. Well, it'll be a well ventilated computer. Oh, it's just commentated. Could you put some?
Yeah, I'm putting pressure on it.
Now, you'll only really ever need one type of. Oh, you know what? Hang on. One type of screwdriver for this, and it's a standard sort of posi drive. I think it's pretty much the smallest one you can get easily. I mean, you can get bloody tiny screwdrivers for some things, but yeah, you'll have to put some pressure sideways to get this screw lined up. Evidently, that one was just going to be awkward anyway. There we go.
Got it?
Yep, I just need 2 more screws again because I started the wrong way around. Trust me, you'll get a fair few false starts occasionally when you're building your computer, because you'll start doing it one way and then realise, oh, hang on.
Especially if it's your first time building. If it's your first time building, then yeah, you probably will. I know I did.
I know. Oh no, my first build. Oh, it was brilliant. I just, put it all in and fired it off, and this one's being a pain in the backside. Honestly, why do you have to be such a...
You got it?
Inconvenient little... No, I haven't. You know why? Because this case is a bit of a dick.
There you go. Don't buy a case that's a bit of a dick, because you'll get problems inside these.
There we go.
This episode is brought to you by
Yeah.
Alright, so once your power supply's in place, you're ready to go to put your motherboard in. Now this next bit, because there's going to be a lot of work with cables and stuff like that, we're going to end up time-lapsing it. But we'll show you what to do with, we're going to tell you what to do as far as fitting in the motherboard goes. Now, inside your case, you should have some little mounts, or your motherboard will probably come with little mounts. And all you do is on your motherboard, you've got holes on the motherboard for screws. You line that up with these mounts that are on the case, and then that's it. You fit it together, you screw it all in. Make sure you haven't got any cables going underneath the motherboard or anything like that. You don't want that. That's a no-no.
Yeah, if you trap cables, it just gets painful. It might not stop it from working, but it is painful. Sometimes, unfortunately, the mounts aren't already in the case. Look at this one. But your case will come with some extra mounts in a little bag of screws.
So
for you.
Yeah.
Here you go. Motherboard screws. They're all labelled. Wow.
Aerocool know what they're doing with this case.
They didn't with the bloody power units, honestly. Oh, was it Aerocool where I got my power units and they just kept on dying instantly? It was ridiculous. But luckily I got replacements because I wasn't the one that broke them.
So we're going to time lapse this bit now. What we'll do is we're going to probably lie the case down so that we can put the motherboard in. But yeah, we're just going to time lapse this. Put everything in. Once everything's in, we're going to do all the cable management. So we'll probably just like put some music in, you know?
Yeah.
So let's get to it. Make sure you don't leave anything out.
This is where tensions really rise. You've put all this together, and if it doesn't work,
then you throw yourself off a cliff.
Yes.
Yeah, now we have power.
Oh, we're glowing. Okay, now try. Oh! Oh my god. That looks shiny. It sounds shiny.
Yeah, it's booting up all the separate fans. It's gotten.
How long did it stay off before it turned off before?
Oh, there you go.
It's not turning off now. That's good. That's good. That sounds...
AE. I don't know what AE means.
Oh, the codes. Where are the codes? Okay, so it says AE on the motherboard's debug lights.
Which I've never used before, so that's why I have to find this out.
It could just... here we go. BIOS setup.
No, we don't. That's way before that, I would have thought. It's not that. Debug LED codes 124.
Okay. Oh, that's good. I like it that we don't have to look this up on the internet. We can just...
Alright, and I'm just let me check. AE.
AE?
Boot to Legacy OS. Right, that is
done
a
it.
success.
Yes!
Woo!
AE is good.
AE is good.
Oh my god.
Let me turn that out. There we go. That is it. It's all rooted.
Well, right. It actually was better than my first build because I went through 3 power units.
Did the graphics card turn on though?
And a motherboard. I think it did. It doesn't look like it does, I think.
Run only as fast as I can, but my mind is free to sail across terabytes of reality, to soar above a pixel land in a rocket ship. The 9999 made of megabits. Ladies and gentlemen, leave the world and bring your friends. Step inside and close the door. Shut it out, plug it in, press start and we're flying. No use for your wars. castles in the sky as we float on timeless satellites. 'Cause virtual is where we live, live, live. 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 Virtual is where we live, live, live. 'Cause virtual is where we live, live, live. 'Cause virtual is where we live, live, live.
Okay, so that was the our first video for the tech, which is a build guide for any aspiring young technician or old to set up their own computer. At some point we'll probably be doing videos on how to actually select parts and stuff that you want in your build. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, etc.
Bye.
Bye.